Hey guys, I wanted to get on here real quick and show you a little bit about this BMPCC 4K rig that I put together. And I haven't seen it put together quite as compact as this, with still having a monitor and external power. So I wanted to check it out. Let me walk you through it. The form factor is just not very conducive to rigging it out, which you basically have to do anyways. So how do I get around that? Well, one of the options is to put rails on it, put a V-mount plate behind it, and then basically you need a cage for all that, right? But I don't know, I kind of wanted to stick with just this really stripped back, bare bones approach to it. And the issue I was running into was having both a monitor with its own battery plus a battery for that BMPCC to power it externally. That was just where I was running into an issue where it's like, where do you put an NPF plate on this whole thing? And it just became super cumbersome and bulky. So what I did was I looked up something pretty interesting. I take this off and plug everything here. You can actually pick up one of these NPF dummy plates that snaps into any NPF slot. And this is just a 3D printed one I printed off of Thingiverse. And that allows you actually to screw 1/4 inch attachments into it. So what you can do is basically slide this right in like that, then put your NPF on. And with this monitor, which is the Portkeys PT5, you take a barrel plug that into the 7.4 volts, and then you take your BMPCC power cable here, and I just wrap this around like that and plug it into the 12 volt output. And that's basically it. I mean, other than that, I have a simple NATO rail right here that makes it easier to just slide on and off this whole thing. So all you have to do is unplug these parts here, HDMI, and then undo the NATO rail, and the whole thing slides off completely. So honestly, I think that's really the best part about this whole thing. It's like, how do you go from, you know, a functional rig, which is basically a better monitor plus power solution, under like 5 seconds with no, you know, tools or anything else needed. And it's been working great for me, honestly. I've taken this to music videos, corporate shoots, stuff like that. And just having this as like a pre-built module that slides on has been working out pretty great. Additionally, here what I got is the Metabone speed booster, which allows you to attach EF lenses. And I got a pretty interesting lens here, which is the 17-40 EF f4. And you might be thinking, well, f4 is not that great, but you get an extra stop of light due to the speed boosters. So this effectively becomes an f2.8 lens, give or take. And with this particular 17-40 range, you actually get a very usable, you know, standard zoom length out of that. So 17 becomes roughly, 17 becomes 25.5, and 40 becomes about 60. And so then basically you have your 24 to 70 lens, despite having a micro four thirds sensor on the 4K. Yeah, so I think this has been working pretty great. I mean, it's very simple, relatively cheap. I would say, you know, if you already have the Blackmagic and the lens, I can put together like the list of all the stuff on screen, you know, like what the prices are and whatnot. But this is, you know, relatively budget, and you don't need a cage, which is nice because then it kind of reduces the whole weight of the rig. I would say it still feels pretty well balanced. Like how I kind of like to film is like against the chest like this, and then like just looking down at the screen, and maybe even pulling focus with my right hand while keeping the left hand just very stable against my my chest, so you know it's very stable footage, and that works just great for that, you know. I would say you could keep improving this, and what I would do if you maybe film more like lower angles and whatnot. You know, you can always add additional stuff, like what I would do occasionally, you know, because I don't want to put too much weight on this, but you could add a top handle, and I have a NATO rail one here, and then add this back on. So it's very modular and lets you kind of adapt as you need. And then the best part is, you know, you don't need a separate bag or, you know, large kind of duffel bag style bag to carry around this thing. You can just easily detach it all in, you know, 5 seconds or so and have this kind of monstrosity of a rig. But I mean, it works for me, so yeah. Figured I'd just put this together in case someone's interested in, you know, a budget minimalist rig. Definitely fits the bill for that. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about it, or if you have a rig that's similar like this, let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching.